realms of Senith.
Things change after the demon fades away. The throne room starts coming back into focus properly. Flowers and a couple trees inside of here. There's an open top so you can actually see the sky. Elvinia, who is up at the edge, who was in the middle of casting a spell, you see her hands just like close and she cancels her spell. And everyone, you hear them kind of like whispering to each other. You see her looking around. Morid, your rapier that you threw is actually sticking out of the ground, out of one of the stones, just in the rug near you. I think Diamond and Olita may still be flying, just hovering above everybody. Morid, maybe you too. So that's the scene you see around you at the moment.
Oh, did I throw the rapier to kill that thing?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You crit it.
In the big mouth.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So there's definitely a lot of awkward silence going on. Erevan's probably pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
I'll pick up the rapier and out of the stone and inspect it.
All right. As you come down and your feet touch the ground and you pick it up and start looking at it, you would notice that Elvinia's eyes are pretty well fixed onto you. And you see her start and stop a few words. And then she finally says, I suppose we have all of you to thank for rescuing us.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And she smiles and bows. Yeah, you actually see a few... There are some tables nearby with utensils and pottery on it. And you see a tea kettle kind of hop around and looks like it's trying to bow as well.
Mrs. Potts?
Is there a chipped teacup next to it?
You don't see, there are teacups nearby, but none of them appear to be chipped. They seem pretty pristine. So no. But to Alita's acknowledgement of it, it kind of rattles a little bit. Elvinia, she steps forward and down from the platform towards all of you, and she puts clasps her hands in front of her, and comes to a stop.
Counterspell. I'm just kidding.
And she says, so you must have a very long story to tell. And I'm guessing you are very weary from your adventure.
Well, the story is we played some games, solved some puzzles, killed a demon. Other than that, I don't think there's much to tell.
You see her smile and look around and people laugh. And she says, surely there's much more to your tale, your heroic tale. Maury, do you see her eyes go back to the rapier that you have? It has been a very long time since I've seen that.
Well, I mean, how long were you stuck in time? Because, time is relative.
She says, of course, I don't actually know, but then her eyes look back up at the sky and she says, it obviously has been for some time. Twilight has come.
Do you remember meeting us before?
She shakes her head no, and she says, no, this is the first time I've ever seen you.
Time is weird in the Feywild.
You are visitors then?
Yeah, this is, Diamond might have been here from here, but not us. Wait, I lean over to Erevan. You're not from here, right?
Nope.
Yeah, Diamond might be, but not us.
There's not enough awkward silence for me to be from here, or awkward staring.
It's called brooding. You weren't trying to sell it. Smoldering, that's what it's called.
Is that going to become one of his abilities?
Yeah. You can smolder.
I suppose that could fall under intimidation.
Get advantage on intimidation checks for one round.
So she looks to Diamond as you had mentioned her, and she says, you do look a bit familiar. And you see Diamond kind of back away a bit. And however, Elvinia says, I believe somebody else wishes to speak with you. And you see a portal begin to open next to her, or next to Elvinia, I should say. And through the portal, you can see the tree that Diamond had tried to get to previously, or originally. And Diamond actually would speak at this point, and she would say, is that a safe portal?
Is it safe?
She would indicate that she's asking Morid.
Oh, Is it safe? Can I do a check? Like a Arcana check, maybe?
Sure.
I got a 13.
All right. It seems like a normal portal spell, like a teleportation spell.
It looks standard.
And
It's standard issue.
standard issue spell. At that, Diamond would run to the portal and jump through.
Oh, wait. Does it close behind her?
No, it doesn't close behind her.
Oh, then I guess we should go too then. Start moving towards it.
This part is a little disconnected.
I mean, can we see through the portal to what's on the other side?
Yes, you see the tree through it.
And is it covered in that black tar or?
No, it's just the tree with a small little clearing around it, and then the forest background. So when you step through the portal, Morad, it looks like everyone is coming through. You see Diamond's already run to the tree. And as you said previously, time's a little weird. So when you've rejoined her, the tree itself looks like it has died. It's very, very old. And you have wood sense. I keep forgetting. The tree looks like it's died of like just age, like a lot of time between where you saw it at the portal to now that you're actually here has passed.
That's a dead tree.
Yeah. There's Diamond herself is leaning against the tree, sitting on the ground on her knees, and you see a very somber look to her.
So sorry, Diamond.
How long has it been?
She looks up at you guys, and she starts to stand up and come walking to join you. She says, only a few minutes. She says, the tree, and then looks down. She says, my friend says that it should be safe for you to leave.
The tree spoke to you?
It was a very powerful spirit. My god, actually.
Oh, no.
And as you're looking around, you notice that a lot of the fae of the forest, like the spirits and the very bright colors are fading, and they're already very dim. It looks like the Feywild is fading from your view, as if you are exiting it and are back into the real realm. The time we've spent in the Feywild, the tree has taken for us, so we are still where we left.
Sacrifice. We thank you. I place my hand on the tree.
As you go up to place your hand on the tree, you actually see one of those snails come around the tree, and it looks like a faded version of it, a bit transparent, and it holds up a little piece of candy and waves at you.
Well, hello there. You could eat it. You don't have to keep it.
And you see the little snail take a bite, and it starts to fade away into like a bit of a smoky haze and disappears. And Diamond behind you says, the forest has sacrificed quite a lot. And she says, for me, it would seem.
Is there no way to save the tree or replant it?
She says, much of the Fey spirits have left, but there are still some that are going to remain. I was told to make sure that the king knows that the forest wishes to become part of his realm, that the forest should not be left to evil spirits. And I think that is why I'm going to stay, to help protect the forest, to help. And you see that she's almost like on the verge of breaking down at this point.
Forest is now safe from the plague, and with you at its side, Diamond, I'm sure it'll be fine.
When she looks up to you, roll a perception check. And actually anybody near her, which I imagine actually is everybody.
15.
Yeah.
7.
My perception is 0. I have 0 wisdom, no proficiency in perception. I got the highest. What is going on here?
Yeah, so she looks up at you and she says, I hope so. Erevan, you see within her eyes as though they have changed for a moment. It was just a momentary. You see that her iris became very dark.
Is everything okay?
Okay, so she would say, so I think I was the one that's caused most of this, but it was not my fault. But I feel like I have a lot to make up for. That's why I need to stay in the forest.
How do you think you caused it?
Morid and Erevan, you can actually roll an Arcana check. Olita can as well.
I got a 26.
16.
6.
Okay, Olita still has no idea. She's none of this explanation seems to be triggering any additional insight for Olita. So, however, Morid and Erevan, you realize that she's talking about like a spell where a hag had cloned herself and was trying to put herself into the clone, like a young version of herself for whatever reason. But apparently she's describing that the ritual was interrupted and that she escaped. So like the ritual was never completed. However, from your guess here, the hag's soul was actually part of her, and that what the forest was doing was trying to remove the curse of that soul from Diamond.
And that soul is the plague or whatever, the black stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I don't think you really need to atone for that. But if that's what you need to do, I understand. Just know that you always have a place with us when you feel you've, paid back your dues.
And she nods and she says, I know I've made a promise to adventure for the king, but perhaps you could tell him that instead with his new gift here, that I will do what I can to protect it, to find places for pioneers. And she looks away, and you can see that she's trying to put together words that sound a bit fancy, and she's talking essentially that she's going to try to be a guide in the forest to new settlers, as well as trying to protect the Fey spirits that have stayed behind.
Yeah, we'll tell the king.
And you see her nod, and she says, we'll meet again, I believe. So until next time.
Indeed.
And you see her look to the tree one more time, and then she starts to walk into the forest.
Well, that's sad. I went to the Feywild, and all I got was this rapier.
It's your souvenir. We got some cotton candy, too.
We should get T-shirts made.
Don't we have like a bunch of wine or something, too?
It's probably not the right time to open the party wine.
We got cotton candy, wine, and the fancy little sword for souvenirs.
Sort of bittersweet victory there.
Yeah.
Well, we could also go brag that we killed a demon.
Or we could take a nap, because I was tired. Where are we?
Now we're just lost.
Yeah. Shit, she was our guide.
Wherever we are, at least we're not stuck in the same room for 2 hours.
Yeah, that was bullshit.
I think that was more like 2 days.
Yeah.
Mort, as you're looking around, trying to figure out where you're at, you hear in the distance something talking, like constantly, like it's starting to come closer. And then after a moment, you hear, "There they are! This way!"
Oh, shit. I hide.
What does everybody else do?
I'm going to hide with Morid.
This is my tree. Get out.
Hey, it's big enough for all of us.
Let's just group hug in here.
Is that a stealth check?
Yeah.
I have disadvantage.
Why do you have disadvantage? Armor?
Yep. I got a 10.
17.
17.
Altogether, you guys do succeed. There's a lot of footsteps hustling towards you, and you hear that they're where you were. It sounds like 4 or 5 creatures have arrived to your location. You hear, I swear, they were right here.
Does that sound like a mirror?
It does sound like Amir to Morin.
Oh, oh, shit. Okay.
It could be any goblin though, or whatever the heck.
Mhm.
He's a goblin, right?
I jump out. Boom! Gotcha.
Ah! Oh, there, Morin! And then Amir runs over towards you.
Hey, buddy.
Ah! And then you see that he's being accompanied by a couple guards from Elkwood. And you see another guard that you don't recognize, but Amir is pretty much up in your face at this point. And he's like, aha, you got your black pack. That's good. Erevan.
Erevan jumps from the tree right behind him, and he's going to say, boo.
Oh, hey. All right, where's Diamond and Olita?
I jump down.
Oh, you're up in a tree. Yeah, that's funny. Well, again, he jumps back. He's like, oh, okay. Hey, where's your black pack? Have you lost it? It was just a backpack that was black.
Did I have one of those?
I thought you had one. Did I not give you one? Well, I definitely meant to.
I don't remember.
He says, well, I'll make you one. Okay? Does that sound okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah, let's, so the plague, it's not so plaguey.
Yeah, we unplagued the plague.
Oh, that was you?
I think so.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Diamond's going to stay behind and help reclaim the forest.
What?
As it cared for her, she is now going to care for it.
That's unfortunate. I mean, we're one less us. I kind of, I mean, did she leave a message for me?
She said to tell you that she will see you again.
Okay, well, all right. Well, so some of the soldiers are getting ready to leave, but a lot of them are going to stay behind to deal with some other, let's say, not so nice folk. There's some mean stuff.
Mean stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like witches or something. I mean, they're kind of a problem to leave behind with a bunch of commoners.
Okay.
So, but I'm gonna guess that you want to head out soon. So, where the hell are we? You see him looking around.
Good question.
One of the soldiers says it'd be this way to exit the forest, if that's where you and your company wishes to go. Yes, of course. Let's all right, let's follow him out of here, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Let's go. And he starts walking backwards, kind of like motioning to you guys to follow.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Do I still have that rapier?
You do currently, yes. As you guys start to leave the forest, Morin, something kind of catches your attention towards that old tree. Just as quick as you've seen it, you unsee it. But there appeared to have been that dryad that you may recall from when you were first entering Arafort that was sick.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it appear near the tree and kind of bend down, and you see her hand very close to the ground, and like some kind of a spell happens. Like she's, you think, binding herself to something. And as soon as you unsee her, you see what's left behind is a little budling of that tree that is starting to grow from the ground. And from your tree sense, you can tell that this is the same type of tree as the large one that has died.
I smile. And I keep it to myself.
All right, and that's how the adventure to the Feywild would end. So where are you guys heading now?
To a tent. Mord is exhausted and half dead.
My health probably wasn't very good either. We should sleep.
All right, so the soldiers or the guards and a ranger lead you to a small, what looks like a watchtower that was at the edge of the forest. And they start to set up a tent for you near the river again. And Amir's like, look, I'll get you guys some dinner.
Some candy.
No bacon either.
Brings all of you a meal to your tents, your various tents that are set up. Yeah, you guys get your first long rest out of the forest in a long while.
Yeah, I'm going to identify this rapier.
You do identify your rapier that you have, and the name of it is a Blade of Correction, but essentially it's a rapier +1, and whenever you roll a 1 on your damage roll, you may re-roll it and take that roll instead.
Cool. Does it require attunement?
Yes, it does.
I was just thinking that maybe we should ask somebody about the witches that Amir said were around.
All right, so yeah, the morning would come for you guys in this this forest here on the edge of the Fey Forest, or what was the Fey Forest. Olita, I assume, suggests asking about the witches that are in Arafort and bothering people. I think is where I kind of came in, right? Yeah, Amir would overhear that and say, you don't need to worry yourselves about that. The adventurers, the king's adventurers have bigger things to concern themselves with than a couple witches. And he offers you some food.
I eat his food.
He hands it out, and then he sits down and he says, but if you want to hear some of the stories, I can tell you some of them, Olita.
Sure.
Okay. I'll be back, though. And then he gets up and runs away.
Great story.
The end.
You see him go up to one of the guards and then tells him to get down, and you see the guard whispering back and forth. Then he runs back and sits down. He says, so yeah, not even 3 miles from here, there's a coven of witches, cultists that are they're and then he looks away for a second and he's like, and then you see him take a sip of water, and then he puts something in his mouth and starts chewing.
You don't really know, do you, Amir?
No, I don't know shit about it.
I figured.
That guard does.
Motion for the guard to come over.
Well, good morning.
Morning, want some breakfast?
Yes, I'm really hungry. I've been on the night watch here. And then he sits down, grabs some of the food.
So, witches.
A few cultists. I don't know if they're actually witches. That's just stories that are being passed around. But there's definitely some weird things happening that don't seem to be Fey related. It says there's some travelers have gone missing on the road near the city, or the town rather.
Is this something you need help with?
Well, I don't know your itinerary.
Other than retaking Mordville, I don't think I have anything on my plate. I look to the others. Erevan, what you up to?
Nothing really.
Olita?
Yeah, seems like we could take care of this before we go back to the king.
He nods and says, well, the town is called Werhelm. If you need me to spell it, and he looks over at Amir, who pulls out a little piece of paper or parchment and starts writing it down. He says the mayor of that town was named Sitch, and he came to our campment about 2 days ago. You guys had your party had already gone into the forest at that point. And he told us about the missing caravans that had been sent from the town. And he told us several stories, to be honest. Some locals that had come through our encampment had said that he's something of a bit on the eccentric side.
Did you believe him?
Well, to be honest, when I spoke with him, I understood what they meant. He seemed very, very concerned about the caravans more so than the missing people. And it was actually quite difficult to get that information out of him.
What was in those caravans?
Well, if he is to be believed, it was various supplies that his townsfolk would need for their travels out and into safety outside of Arafort. But from talking about, I got the impression that he was trying to smuggle some things out of the town. And that's when when I confronted him about it, that's when he started talking about these witches and cultists that were his area and saying that he needed help with them. So, to be honest, I'm a bit hesitant to send, to have you concern yourselves with it. I was going to be, and then he points off to the distance. There's other tents nearby. He says, I was going to send a couple of my men over there to check it out, but he seemed pretty insistent about these witches.
Maybe we should go see the mayor first.
Yeah.
And he nods and he says, well, I can take you to him as soon as we're finished with breakfast if you'd like.
Sure.
Leads all of you into the watchtower. And in there you see Vicar Philip and a couple commoners, and he seems to be arguing with one of them as you come in. But Vicar Philip notices your entrance, which is hard to notice or hard not to notice, because as soon as Amir comes in, he's like, make way for the King's Adventurers, move it.
You the man in the mirror.
And Vicar Philip nods to all of you and says, I am relieved to have heard that you've made it out of the forest alive. And I have okay. This is Sidge, and he points to one of the commoners, the one that Olita is near, actually. He says, Mayor Sidge, this is Morin, this is Erevan, and this is Olita. And Sidge is like, well, hello. Finally, somebody that can deal with my problem.
Yeah. Well, what exactly is your problem?
Goddamned witches.
Okay.
At least 4 or 5 of them in my town.
Okay.
They've been stealing our... Sorry, go ahead, Olita.
They're in the town,
Yes.
traveling through, or...
They've made home in one of the farmhouses, putting all their stinky incense in there. Can smell it from clear across the town. And every time one of my dear townsfolk try to leave with their stuff, damn witches take it. I know they do.
Are we talking about tradesmen or people trying to move away?
Farmers. And all their life belongings.
And why exactly are they leaving the town?
Well, the damn plague.
No, we fixed that.
Absolutely, but I can't tell my people to come back with witches.
I don't believe him. I'm going to do an insight check.
Okay.
But I'm not good at it, so I got a 4. Goddamn witches ruining everything.
All right, yeah. If Morin, you're definitely on board with this guy. There's definitely witch. This guy believes there's witches in his town.
Well, guess we got to kill some witches. I believe him. I don't know about you guys.
Damn straight, there's witches. Go ahead.
Can I do an insight roll?
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna say that you kind of are. As Mord turns, you're not entirely sure if Mord's being sarcastic or not, because like as soon as he walks in. But yeah, go ahead. You can roll an insight check. But what's your question that you're going to ask him about these witches to kind of get your own gauge?
Maybe if the witches are actually the problem.
Well, what else would the problem be? Got witches and then missing caravans.
Are the belongings gone and the people gone?
Well, yes, we've been finding empty wagons on the side of the road.
The way this dude talks amuses me.
And you're sort of just... but you're assuming that it's the witches, right? You don't have any actual proof?
What kind of proof the witch is going to leave behind?
Well, I mean, there was the plague. The plague could have gotten them.
Incense in the empty wagons? Does it smell like incense?
Oh, absolutely. It smells like incense all over the town.
I'm convinced.
Go ahead and roll your insight, Olita.
12.
Total?
Yeah.
So it's not so much that you believe them entirely. Like your character's asked a few questions, right? And there's definitely something going on, but you're not entirely certain that he knows what's going on.
Well,
What are you going to do about it?
is the other commoner named Mimsy?
Mimsy?
Yeah.
No.
Mimsy?
My name's Mono Usos.
Well,
Your name is Mimsy now.
From from here on out.
Are you giving them the awkward stares? You tell them that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and roll your intimidation, Erevan.
18.
Mimsy.
Hi, my name's Mimsy. You see Vicar Philip kind of put his head down. It's like he's trying to block a laugh. Then after a moment, Vicar Philip looks up and he says, "Okay, so it seems quite settled, Sige. You may go and rejoin your fellow townsfolk in your tent." Damn, they're gonna help us. That's awesome. Let's go, Mimsy. And they start to leave. Vicar Philip says, "Mimsy."
You should put that in paper, Hereby, henceforth, by the king's order, this man is to be known as Mimsy. Put that on some paper for me, would you?
Amir pulls out parchment and writes all that down. It's like so official order from the King's Adventurers. Your name henceforth shall be Mimsy. So I just need some signatures here. Witness. Vicar Philip, please sign here. Vicar Philip puts his autograph down and hands it to Mord. It's like, all right, here.
I take the paper and put it in my black pack.
Oh, no, I gotta go deliver it to him. It's official, right?
Oh, well, I hand it to Amir then. Here you go.
I just needed your signature. Please write.
Instructions would be nice. Yeah, so I sign it. I get Mayor of Mordville.
Okay. You should also put on here that he's instructed to go join you in Mordville. Huh?
Oh, okay.
We're gonna need a farmer.
Well, put that. You wrote the contract. You're supposed to add that in.
I can't edit it now. There's signatures on it, and only the signees can edit it.
Now, why don't you sign it then? Then you can edit it.
All right. Okay.
There, I draw a line for him to sign.
Who the hell am I?
You're the Royal Adventurer scribe.
Okay. And he puts that underneath the line, then signs it, and then adds in the thing.
Flash above the air, Flash, badass.
Master Weedsman. Okay. I'll go deliver it. And then he leaves. And then outside, through one of the windows, you hear, what? What the fuck? You're gonna take my son? No.
What?
And the mirror comes back in. It's like, all right, we got ourselves Master Weedsman.
Oh yeah, it's his son.
It's his assistant, really. I mean, his son's a man. Oh, he did say make sure he arrives in Baindor after it's safe.
Yeah, it's not quite safe yet.
Right. All right. So, and then Vicar Philip cuts in and he's like, I imagine you want to be off to the, and then he picks up the piece of paper to look at it. He's like, what the hell was that town's name? Werhelm, I think. All right. You see, like, his eyes are pretty tired. Like, he's been dealing with this stuff for a while now. He's like, I actually have to thank you for looking into this. He's been on me every day about this, about the witches. So I'm really tired about hearing it.
Yeah, I bet.
All right. Do you need some horses? Do you want to take some? I have maybe 3 or 4 guards you can take with you.
Do you have healing potions here? We could probably refill on those.
Yes. Stop in with no, actually here, and then you see him go to the back of the watch house and open a crate, and he pulls out some potions. He's like, "Is this what you want?" And they're like standard healing potions. It's a crate full of them, all of them marked very well. Like you recognize these. They're the ones that were made at the palace specifically for this march.
Yeah, those will be good. I'll I'll take one. I feel like one or two other people have used healing potions too, so they could probably refill.
So all of you head to the stables that are set up and start fetching some horses. A couple guards at a time trickle in, and they start readying their barding and everything, getting ready to go. And one of them has, unfortunately for Olita, some bacon. He's kind of mowing down on it. It was breakfast, right? So, yeah, they're ready to go, and they look to you guys and to all of you and says, all right, are we heading off, or you have some more business here?
No, heading off, I think.
So the town, Werhelm, is to the north. And as you're heading towards the north road with the 4 guards join you, Sage comes out and he says, oh, you're really going? Thank you so much. Best of luck to all you.
What, you're not coming?
Oh, hell no. There's witches.
Yeah, it's your witches. You gotta show us what farmhouse they're in.
No, they ain't mine.
Sure they are.
No, why would I ever hire witches?
Well, I didn't say anybody you're hiring. Why would you hire witches?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, like why would you? It doesn't make any sense.
No, none at all.
So why'd you do it?
I didn't do it.
Okay.
Just get rid of them, will you?
Yeah, come on.
Wait, you're going to take my son to Bay Door and you're going to take me to some witches?
Correction, Moradville, and 2, yes.
Moradville? Oh my God.
No, Morad.
Moradville, yes.
Yeah, you said, oh my God. I said, no, Morad.
Oh my God, you're funny. Look, I don't want to go with you to this witch's place, man.
Well, neither do we, but we got to, right? That's the burden of leadership.
Oh, you're going to pull that card out on me. Oh. I just had my breakfast needs to settle first. I'll catch up with you on the road, okay?
This isn't swimming. You don't need to wait 15 minutes, Mark.
Oh my God, you guys are assholes.
Morid.
Okay, give me a moment. And he goes and gets a horse and he joins up with you guys. The guards are laughing at this point. One of them reaches over to you more and says, my name's Bodu, by the way.
What's up, man?
He's like, I'm going to fight some fake witches. That's what it's up with me.
Yeah. I hear that. I give him a fist bump.
All right, so the four guards, Sige and all of you head north to Werhelm. I don't actually have a map up for this village. I could try to find one real quick, but...
Okay, we need a theater of the mind.
Okay, thank you. The town itself has probably 6 large buildings in it that are used for the main trade and storage of goods. And there's a couple abandoned shops. You see that there's like pictures drawn on the side because they don't really have a good way to have clear lettering that doesn't erode over time through like weathering and stuff.
I make a note of that. Yeah, they have empty buildings, which is great for a Moradville Emporium place. And the need is they need paint or something that doesn't weather, fix it. So you have to have a need to start a business, right? You just found a need.
All right, so Morad's on business. Business mode turns on for Morad as he looks around and takes in the surroundings. I guess is what's going on.
They didn't choose me as mayor of Moradville for no reason.
You see that building down that way there? And he points a bit further to the north, and you see like a farmhouse that's set up in some tilled farmland that is currently empty. There's nothing growing there. There are them witches. Can't you smell the incense?
Do I smell it?
No, you don't really smell anything.
What does it smell like?
Witches.
What do witches smell like? Do you smell something burning?
No, don't you smell the sweet in the air?
No.
Damn, get rid of them witches.
No, come with us.
Well, I don't know. You don't. What if a message comes for you?
Well, then, somebody else can bring it to me. Your son's going to be working for me soon. They'll bring it over.
Bodu pats the Sige on the back, the mayor, He says, "Don't worry, I'll stay here. If there any messages come, I'll let you know."
Have you seen these witches, or do you only think that you've smelled them?
Well, I smelled them, and then I went straight down to where I knew I needed to get help.
Was this like after the empty wagons on the road?
Oh, you didn't see that? Oh, I forgot to point them out on the way. There was places where the wagons were.
Let's go see a farmhouse about some witches.
Moritz starts off, at least. I'm assuming everybody else goes with him. And Sidge, a couple of the guards. As you come up closer to the house, he's like, "I really don't want to be here right now."
Me either.
That smell that he's been talking about, you can start smelling it a bit as you get closer to this house.
Does it smell like sweet potatoes?
It smells like a sweet foulness.
No. You smell that, Erevan?
Erevan, you would smell this at this distance.
Oh my God, he passed out.
Them witches. I was just trying to think of like what exactly to say.
Well, is this what witches smell like, Olita?
Would I have a way of knowing?
Well, Olita, I've actually seen you perform.
What do you mean?
When you were traveling, right? You're an adventurer? You're going around performing at different games, right?
Are you talking about the Fey Fair?
Oh, no. I mean, a couple of years ago.
Perhaps.
You know, like, maybe I have you confused for somebody else, but I feel like, I don't know, like, weren't you like a javelin person? Played in some, like, games. You're like an athlete, right?
Don't think so.
Damn. Well, good luck.
No, why don't you vault your ass right up to that door?
Oh, okay.
We'll be right behind you.
All right. And he gets off the horse and stuff, and the guards are kind of chuckling at this point, and they start to dismount as well. They're like, yeah, you see one of the guards come up to him and start giving him tips and stuff. He's like, all right, if you see a witch, this is what you do. Don't look down. Don't look them in the eyes. Don't look away. Back up slowly. You just, not too quickly. You know, just like messing with them and stuff. It's like, okay, I got it.
As he's going, I'm going to talk to the other two guards and I'll say, hey, just in case this is real, you guys take up flanking positions on either side. We'll fan out around the front of the house just to make sure we don't get caught in no area of effect stuff.
Yeah, is there a way for us to look for, I don't know, traps or...
You could roll a perception check if you want to look around to see if something's amiss.
Okay. 20.
Okay, that's a pretty good roll.
Yep.
He's walking up to the door. And Olita, you're looking around this house, at the front of this farmhouse. It's not as well kept as you saw in the town, but that's not anything that stands out as odd to you. Some of the wood just looks old, essentially. Like this may have been like the first house that was built in this area. However, through one of the cracks in the logs that make up the wall here, you do see something move. And you think you can hear a couple footsteps, and Sidge walks up to the door at this point. I don't know if there's anything you want to do, but he's about to open the door.
So I say to Sidge, someone's definitely in there. Try knocking first.
It's a damn witch. I told you.
Here's how you knock on a witch's door. Okay, so you knock like you normally would, and then you shout FBI, and then you kick the door open.
Right.
What's the FBI?
Just go with it. It doesn't mean anything. Just random letters.
All right. So he knocks on the door and he shouts something akin to the FBI anyway.
Fermented bean.
Says KAI, and he kicks the door open. King's Adventuring Investigations.
Good.
And then you hear him go, "What? And then he gets shot back by something. You see like a magical ray hit him, and he flies backwards and lands on the ground, and he says, I've been hit. Oh my God, it's a witch. There's a witch right in the doorway. Oh, and then he passes out. Go ahead and roll initiatives for me, guys.
I guess I was wrong.
17.
8.
All right, as the scene unfolds in front of you, that him rolling around on the ground and passing out, from the doorway steps a very young-looking woman, and with her seems to be like a fox. She has very long, thick white hair on the top of her head, which betrays her age to you. All of you would immediately know that there's some kind of allusion to her. And as she steps out, there's like green smoke on the ground that follows her. And she is going to, she raises her arm in her hand and points to both the guards near you on your flanks, and a ray comes out of each of her fingers. All right, one of the guards immediately falls to their knees, but the other one seems to shrug off the attack, and I believe Morid is up next.
Well, what does the fox have to say?
It's growling at all of you.
So that's what they say.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
this fox says.
Yeah.
Can we try talking about this first?
Yeah. Are you a witch?
She starts laughing.
I shrugged my shoulders at Olita. I tried.
Is it like a funny laugh or an evil laugh?
Like a manic laugh. Like she's completely amused. She does, after a moment, say, like as soon as Mora turns to Olita and says that, her laugh pauses for a moment, and she says, The fool thought he was going to take from me, and the fool has brought you to me. I think he thought he was going to teach me a lesson. I have other plans for him, and I have different plans for you. Go ahead.
So, wait, do you know this, what was his name, Sige? Do you know Sige?
Oh, of course, I know him.
So he claims that you were attacking wagons on the road and his villagers. So we came to investigate. We weren't really sure that anyone would be here. Can you tell us from your side what's happening?
Can you roll a persuasion roll? This roll would be to determine if you could convince her to have a conversation.
I think I can. 20.
All right, yeah, she does fold her arms up, like crosses her arms in front of her chest, right? And kind of leans back. You see her fox kind of back off a little bit as well. She says, Fine, we'll talk then. What did you actually ask her? You asked her about the wagons, right?
Right.
She says, This fool thought he could hire me to steal from his townsfolk. This fool has brought you here to steal from me. We had a deal.
I guess we're doing his son a favor then, huh?
His what?
At least I think Mimsy is his son.
Who is Mimsy?
Person that doesn't exist in places that aren't on maps.
What was your deal?
The deal was he was going to give me his townsfolk's stuff, essentially. And I was going to give him a few, and then she kind of leans in towards you a bit, a few spells.
What kind of spells?
The persuasive sort.
Any idea who we wanted to persuade?
If I understand him correctly, his goal was to give himself a bit more power in the region with the Duke. So there it is.
So why did you want these town people's belongings?
Why would I not?
Because it's kind of a podunk town, ain't it? What kind of good stuff could you have possibly got?
She turns her head a bit and she says, I was going to have the people.
Oh, well, that's pure evil.
And she shrugs.
Do you have prisoners?
Perhaps.
Kapow! My cannon goes off.
All right, go to roll your attack roll.
Already did. It's an 18.
All right, yeah, that's a hit.
16 points of damage. Force ballista. And as my action, I'll cast Firebolt. Kapow! Okay, that's not very good. That's only 12.
All right, that does miss.
Is there like a fence around this house?
No, there's not.
Is there any cover within 30 feet of me or 25 feet of me?
There's your horse.
Oh, can I like run up and prop Sidge up and hide behind Sidge?
Yes, you can do that.
Use him as cover? Okay.
Yeah. All right, it would be Erevan's turn.
Is she only the only one, or is there multiple?
She seems to be the only one.
I'm gonna put my Hexblade's curse on her, run up to her, and swing at her with my greatsword. That would be 23. I'm gonna guess that hits.
Yep.
15 damage, and that's my turn.
Okay.
So while they're doing that, do you think I could try out my stealth and see if I couldn't slip into the house to go look for survivors?
Yeah, go ahead and roll your stealth check. Be against her passive, otherwise occupied.
12?
That's just enough. All right, so are you gonna, I think you move at half speed. Are you gonna take your full turn to try to get in the house and look around? Because otherwise you're just gonna end up near the house.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go in the house and around. Kind of be, where she doesn't know I'm there and see what I can find.
If I may take some liberty with your character, otherwise you could describe how you get in if you want.
You can take some liberty. It's fine.
Okay. So Olita moves kind of swiftly but quietly to the side of the house and peers in through the cracks in the wood to kind of take in what she can see in there. You see that there are people in there, but they don't seem to be alive, or at least they're motionless.
Can I do like a perception or something? See if I think they're alive or dead?
It'll have to be on your next turn. And there is a window nearby that you think you could get in and do that check if you want on the next turn.
Okay.
We're going to go back to the witch's turn as she responds, because each round is kind of everything happening simultaneously, right? So as Morid is shooting off his cannon and Erevan's charging up with his sword to take her on, you would at that same moment be running to the side of the house and looking in. That makes sense. But at the top of the round, the witch is responding to all of this. Erevan, are you in melee range with her? Like you stayed in melee range is what I'm asking, right?
Yeah.
All right. You need to make a dexterity saving throw as she tries to use shocking grasp on you.
19.
Okay, never mind. Nothing happens. But more, it's your turn as you're hiding behind an unconscious Sidge.
I'm gonna peek around and I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on everything in a 20-foot cube, 10 feet out from the doorway and 10 feet in.
Is that a saving throw for her or no?
Yeah, dexterity 15.
She fails.
And that'd be the fox too.
Also fails. 14.
All right, so each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light. My choice. So violet, because I'm violet fungus. Any creature in the area of the spell cast also outlined in light. It fails a dexterity saving throw for the duration, and objects affected, creatures shed dim light a 10-foot radius, and any attack against them is at advantage, and they can't get the benefit of or being invisible or whatever.
Okay. Erevan, your turn, I assume, unless you're going to move as well, Mord.
Nope, I'm going to stay there, but I'm going to shoot my cannon because it's a bonus action.
Oh, no. Okay, sorry.
At advantage now because of Fairy Fire. Nat 20.
Okay.
Ouch. That's going to hurt.
Not too bad. 24 damage.
Not too bad. 24 damage. That's
right.
Quite a bit.
You guys only managed to do 55 damage in 2 rounds here. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you remember how Sidge came flying out of the doorway?
Mm-hmm.
She goes flying in the doorway.
Uno reverse card.
Yeah, and that's what you get to see as you're moving to the window, Olita, is the witch flying from the doorway through the house and out the other door on the back. And that's the end of the combat as the fox fades away.
Gotcha, witch.
I holler to them that they're people inside we should go check on.
All right. Yeah, as you go into the house, Olita, there is like a foul smell to this place. As you're looking around, you do find somebody that seems to still be breathing, but most of these people, there's seven of them in here, don't seem to be alive.
Are any of them injured?
Two of them seem to still be breathing, and yes, they are injured.
I'm going to give them healing potions.
Okay. As you're moving through and moving to give them the healing potions, you see that there's like some kind of like a wooden branch that reaches up from the flooring to try to grab you, Erevan, but it kind of like fades. Or not fades, but just kind of stops moving. You would imagine it's because the witch is the power from the witch has gone away, and yeah, you start healing these people up.
I'm gonna secure Sidge, as in get the guards to tie him up, unless they're dead.
No, they're not dead. One of them just kind of fell to their knee, and the other one kind of too much was going on too quickly for him to really act. But he was going to charge in, but he saw Erevan's sword go swinging around in the air as it does.
Yeah.
And kind of gave him some distance. Anything else you guys are doing?
Search the witch and the house.
Well, I'm gonna get these two people out of the house just in case whatever magic that witch has going on starts working again.
Yeah, should we go check on the witch on the other side of the house?
Right. Morid, I think, wanted to search as well the witch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Morid and Olita, you two head out the back to find the witch. You actually see something of a strange sight as the witch, her head kind of turns as she's laying on the ground, and turns around completely to look at all of you, and her face looks very wrinkled. The youth in her face, or the skin on her face seems to like it was like a mask or something, and she turns very quickly, like almost like a supernatural feel to it. So I'm guessing it would normally put someone off.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and she starts to like melt into the ground, and you hear that manic laugh again.
Well, that's not normal. I don't think people tend to do that, do they?
No, they tend not to.
I once heard this story of a witch that melted after getting water on it.
I think I heard that one too. Did she have monkeys?
Yes.
Is there any water? Give me some water.
You just start pouring water on her.
Yeah. Well, I imagine she's melting pretty quickly, so I throw my canteen at her.
Yeah, just dump it all on her, and she's like, ugh. And then she seems to just be gone as though she teleported somewhere, just leaving behind like the skin. That's all nice and wet now. Thanks, Mort.
I'm sorry. Did anybody want that?
You might want to burn that now. It's kind of gross.
It's going to be hard to burn now that it's wet.
Yeah.
I start throwing firebolts at it so it dries.
Okay. Also, Erevan, that's what you see is him fighting a pile of skin in the back after you come.
Your battle will be legendary, Moritz.
Back you.
This is just another day at the office of the King's Adventures Investigators, whatever the heck.
Is that our name?
Gotta dry the skin before we can burn it. All right.
King's Bureau of Investigation.
You hear Sidge actually become conscious again from the front of the house, and he says, "What is going on back there? Did you get the witch?
Mm-hmm.
I want to speak to the King's Adventurers."
Is he like still sitting where we left him?
I think that you secured him. Yeah, he's just laying on the ground, yelling at you guys from the back, and one of the guards is trying to tell him to shut up.
I throw a firebolt towards him. Not that I want to hit him, but near him.
And he says, "No, you don't understand. You don't understand. Why would you believe a witch?"
So anywhere in this house, is there like all their belongings from the caravans? Or is it just the people?
So far as you can see here, it's just the people. And they seem to have been like restrained inside of this place. You see strange markings on the floor as well. You go to the upper floor and you're searching around here as well. And you're not finding caravans worth of goods. like food or clothing or belongings.
Well, guys, think we need to go to Sidge's house, see if we can't find some evidence.
I don't have their stuff. Come on, let's go look. Take these things off me. This is ridiculous.
Don't be ignorant. It's ignorant.
I'm gonna tell Sidge, you have the right to remain silent. I suggest you use it.